Hari Om, good evening. A very warm welcome to all of you. Please come, let's pray together. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya. Sahana vavatu sahano bhunaktu sahaviryam karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Together, we offer our humble salutations to the Almighty, who has the divine names Vishwadrik and Vishwabhuk. To such a Lord, with immense faith, devotion, and complete surrender prapatti, we offer our humble salutations to seek His grace, His mercy, His blessings, His love, His compassion, His strength, and we beseech in Him to grant us Shraddha, Bhakti, Jnana, and Vairagya, only and only to understand Thy true nature and have the experience of Aparoksha Anubhuti. O Lord, bless us that at the end of our lives we reach Thy holy feet. Our humble salutations to the entire Guru Parampara. Om Tat Sat. Today, by the grace of the God and Guru Parampara, we are on our Divine Discourse number 284 on the 31st of May 2022. Swasti Shri Shubhakrat Nama Samvatsar Uttarayan Grishma Rutu Jyeshta Mas Shukla Paksh Prathama Rohini Nakshatra, Dhriti Yoge Bhavakarane. On this auspicious day of Tuesday and the time of the evening, together we all take a firm resolve in our minds. Naham karta hari karta, hari preranaya, hari pritirtha. Everything that is happening in our lives, every incident, every occasion, situation, circumstance, be it through a person or through an object, is all at the behest of the Lord. It is He and He only is creating all this in my life, only and only to uplift my life from this cycle of birth and death. I accept all that comes in this life as His Mahaprasad, smilingly, lovingly, and devotedly lead my life. Om Tat Sat. Good evening, everybody. A very warm welcome to all of you. So, now Lord Krishna is going to give us this divine knowledge. I can say that this is no less than a psychology lesson. If we are able to understand how our mind is constructed, how our mind behaves, then first and foremost thing which we will get to experience is peace within. So here, he explains how he has created this mind and how the impact of the gunas which he has created around us, how it makes an impact on our life. So far, having explained that whatever you are experiencing in your life is nothing but the impact of the three gunas, now we move forward. We have studied up to last is verse 5, and now we move on today to verse 6, 7 and 8, which basically talks of the three qualities, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. So let's take an overall look of all these three qualities today. Because for the next 14 verses he is going to explain only and only about how these gunas have an impact, which is extremely important for us. Okay, come on. So, if you see, all our lives, our minds, say this world, or even this Vishwa for that matter, it's nothing but the game of the gunas. That is what the Lord is trying to say here. No decision is 100% ours. We all give a decision or make a decision based on the gunas which we are going through. This is the impact of the gunas which we are all experiencing. So, one has to carefully understand where we are moving forward in life. We need to be watchful, careful, that at what point of time which guna is predominant in us. It's just introspection of your mind. So at the time of taking the decision, what happens? You know that yes, by this particular guna being prominent, I took so and so decision. So, like as they say, Trividam Narakasyedam Dwaram. So, in fact, these three gunas, they pave the way towards hell or heaven. Now, for that reason, we need to observe and moderate. These are called as the forces which influence your life. So, primarily, every jiva has its own nature, which we call as swabhav. उनका वो स्वभाव है इसे, that's his nature. If somebody is angry, we say that's his nature. स्वभाव है उनका. If somebody is greedy, वो उसका स्वभाव है. Now, this particular swabhav comes from our previous births. It is in the sukshma sharira which keeps traveling from life after life. So if you refine your life, if you have a refined life, let's say as of now, which means you have worked on this from several births behind this. You have taken care to ensure that you are able to have a better flavor of the mind. So, one is this swabhav. Okay. Now, externally we have the gunas. The gun, what we call, which is known as the prabhav. Prabhav are the influencers. Now, this is what Lord Krishna is trying to tell us, that you have your own inherent swabhav, your tendency, your nature, but what I do is, I have created with my Maya Shakti these three gunas, which are the prabhav, the influencers. So totally, how is your mind working now? One is your internal nature, which is the swabhav, and on the other side you have these three prabhav, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. So constantly we are under the impact of these four natures, which are four aspects which are working on us, on our mind. So now interestingly, what I should be deciding or doing or what I should become, each one has their own aspirations, is based on our swabhav. I want to be this, I want to be that. But the trick and the catch here is that my swabhav or my nature, my tendency is covered up. It is covered up like with a covering or like a lid or a cloth. Now my swabhav has been covered up with these three gunas, and thereby actually what has happened is I truly do not know my true nature. Have you ever thought of this? See, these are the revelations which we get when we study the Gita. Because the Creator is telling, this is how I have created. What do you think? You may be a good person, but those three gunas which are acting, which are the prabhav on your swabhav, they constantly, what is happening? This is impacting. For example, whenever, let's say, the influence or the impact of Rajas, okay, now we're going to learn what all these qualities are. If that is more on us, so then we naturally behave in a Rajasic manner, irrespective of whatever our true nature is. You may be by nature a Sattvic person, that is Swabhav. But Prabhav is of that Rajasic nature which covers up this Swabhav and it portrays your Rajasic nature. So therefore, most of the times we are in a delusion that this Prabhav is my Swabhav. Understand this carefully. Internal nature, Swabhav. External forces, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas is the Prabhav which is constantly bearing on your mind. And we automatically behave in that manner. It can also happen that one may not come to know his true nature in his entire life. He has no idea. He has just behaved as per the Prabhav which is there on him from time to time. And his true nature, whatever it is, it must have gone for a toss. So here, Lord Krishna, Bhagavan Shri Krishna, he drives us to the point that first, O my devotee, understand these three external forces, the Prabhav which are constantly working on your true nature, without which you will not be your true self at all. See, if you see off late, some most heinous crimes are committed, which is even beyond one's imagination as humans. So the impact of Rajas and Tamas is so much so high that we humans have behaved worse than animals. Many times we get to see animals behaving more humanly. All this is happening because this Sattva Guna is slowly declining in the humans. So Lord Krishna says, now what you need to do is, you need to keep a count, that measure of how much is that Sattva Guna in you. How much is that Rajo Guna in you. How much is that Tamo Guna in you. And having come to know this, you have understood this now. Oh, my Sattva is so much, my Rajas is so much, my Tamas is so much. Then you watch your behavior. This is all introspection. Watch your behavior and reevaluate your actions. Correlate your actions with the guna which is present at that point of time. Reassess. Like say you have done a particular, you have crossed through an incident. Now you go back. You look at yourself, how you behaved. And then you get a fair idea, I think I did not behave appropriately. Okay? Many times we have felt this. I shouldn't have said this. I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have behaved like this. Didn't we say this? We just say and we just leave it. Because we don't know anything beyond that. So now Lord Krishna is going to tell us these are the three modes which are acting on you. So understand how you behaved. And if you felt that you did not behave appropriately, then at that point of time, you understand which gun was predominant in you. And once you get to understand which gun was predominant in you, you correlate it to your action and you will see precisely as the Lord is now telling us in this verses 6, 7 and 8, by describing the nature of the three guns, he is telling us. So you see, am I coming under the Sattva category, am I coming under the Rajas category, or I am coming under the Tamas category. And you will notice, exactly as per the category, he has also defined how your behavior will be. You correlate to this and then you decide, oh my God, my actions, my words, my behavior, my conduct was all because I was in this Rajas and Tamas moods. So now you know that whenever you are interacting, behaving in the world, then you get an idea. Oh, now what I should do? If by chance I am in these wrong zones, then you be very careful about your talk, thought or behavior. This is the art. If we get this art of this process, you will not only be happy and peaceful, but you will also make the surroundings happy and peaceful. So now as Lord Krishna in verse 5, what did he say? Sattvam rajas tvama iti gunaha prakriti sambhavaha nibadnanti mahabaho dehe dehinam avyayam. He said this. These three gunas, born out of Maya and Prakriti, they bind you to this body. This body means this Jivatva. All these three gunas are continuously working and they have tied you down. And he now henceforth, he beautifully explains each and every guna for us in verse 6, 7 and 8. Sattva, Rajas and Tamas respectively. And he tells us you understand what the nature of Sattva is, Rajas is, Tamas is, and you correlate in your behavior and become a better person. Okay. Now I'll post verse number 6. We'll understand what is Sattva Guna primarily. Okay. Tatra sattvam nirmalatvat prakashakamanayam sukhasanghena badnati jnanasanghena chanagha. Now, we have heard what these three gunas, okay? In these three gunas, to us what appears is Sattva. This person is a Sattvic person, we say. Which means best possible person amongst the category of all the people whom we know or who are. Now, what is shocking to us is, Lord Krishna says, all these three gunas bind you. Oh my devotee, don't be under the impression that if you are a Sattvic person, you will get free from this samsara. No. He very clearly makes this point. Now, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he narrated a beautiful story to explain these three gunas. What he said was, he said, these three gunas are like three robbers. Okay. So these three robbers, they are in a forest. And what is their job? Their job is to rob. Rob travelers who are coming and make a living. So, now three robbers are of three different nature. See how he explains Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. All the three robbers work together. They caught hold of a traveler. The first robber, who is compared to Tamoguna, what he did, he tells, let's kill this fellow and snatch whatever he has. Now the second robber said, why to kill him? We are interested in what he has. So we'll tie him to this tree, we'll rob him with whatever he has, and we'll leave him here to die. In which case there is a thick jungle. Why should we kill him? But now there is a third robber also. Now, based on these two, what they did was, okay, let's not kill him, let's let's catch him, tie him to this tree, rob him, and we'll go away. Now, this second person, first is Tamas, who said we'll kill him. Second was Rajas, who is interested in the money, he is not interested in causing harm to the other. So that is called as Rajas. Now the third robber, when all these three, they rob and they move ahead, that third robber comes back. And he releases this traveler. Not only releasing him, he shows him the way out of the forest. The quickest and easiest way out of the forest. Now, the traveler is so happy. He says, my life is saved. I have children at home. I have my old parents. I have my wife. He tells him, you are so kind. You are so good. Thank you so much. Why don't you come along with me? Then the third robber says, I can't come with you. I am still a robber. Because this traveler is telling, you are so good. Please come with me. He says, no, I am still a robber. I may be good. That person is compared to the Sattva. So, by this story you can understand that as that robber, although he had the right quality in him, which the traveler appreciated, although being robbed, he says, you are such a nice person, such a good person, but then the robber said, I am still a robber. So these three gunas are like the locks. Sattva guna, that lock or that binding on us can be opened easily. Rajoguna, it is difficult to open, but very difficult and very difficult to open. And Tamoguna, even if you try hard, do your best, you can never open it. This is what is now the dictum of the Lord. He clearly says this. So now once we understand the nature of these three gunas, and you will see that in your own family, here and there, you will see people who come under the third category. You will be shocked. He said, oh my God, then what about this person? Because the first thing comes is you have concern for your family member, you have concern for your friend, you have concern for your relative. You will say this person's characteristics are exactly matching what Lord Krishna is saying under the Tamogun category. And he also says that this particular lock is that where you can never open it. Then what is the solution? So the Lord says, such people you should slowly uplift them to Rajogun. And from Rajogun you should try to uplift them to Sattva Gun. Being in Tamogun, one cannot reach me. That is what the Lord said here. So, we first need to know where we stand. What is that guna in me which is prominent? And what is that which is deficient? Sorry. So, if my Sattva is deficient and my Rajas and Tamas is prominent, I need to rework on my approach in life. So in this way, he now explains to us of the Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. So, sorry. Now, Sattva Guna, basic characteristics, let's understand. He says the basic nature of Sattva Guna is being peaceful, Shant, being peaceful. Where this person is always likes peace, he doesn't like disturbance. And how is his mind? His mind is like that still water where you can see your image so clearly. Even if you drop a grain of sand on that water, you will find those fine waves on that water. It gets disturbed. So a person of Sattva Guna, predominantly Pradhanam, what we call, he is always in peace, in happiness, and most importantly, he is contented. The one in Rajogun, I am giving the overall combination, although we are going to go in detail. The one in Rajogun is what? Is the opposite of the Sattva person. He is never with himself. Meaning always running from here to there, there to here, there to here. He is not at one place and he is never peaceful. Now, the Tamogun is a complete disorder. Who doesn't come under these two categories, meaning you understand he is a complete disorder. Now, Lord Krishna tells, where are you? What is your proportion? Understand. Tatra Sattvam Nirmalatvat. So for the one who is in the Sattva Guna, he gets disturbed even with the slightest disturbance, we understood. So even if he is in a noisy place, he doesn't like that, he wants to get away from there. Prakashakam. Prakashakam means if you do an introspection, such a person who is in Sattva Guna, if he sits and does introspection, it's like a, let's say a plate. You have nicely washed and polished a plate. It shines. That plate gives you a shining reflection. So in the same way, your mind within is pure, calm. There are no disturbing thoughts. Prakashakam. And anamayam, it is healthy, completely in a state of well-being, peaceful. Sukha sanghena badnati, even this guna, although it is sukha sanghena, meaning it is peaceful, it is giving you joy, it is healthy, but badnati means it binds you. Because you are attached to happiness, you are attached to peace, you are attached to being calm and serene. Now this is a disadvantage. And what is the second disadvantage he says over here? He says Jnana Sanghena. Jnana Sanghena means this particular person, he has great amount of attachment towards knowledge. He always wants to study. He always wants to improve his knowledge. Now when we say knowledge, not necessarily spiritual knowledge. This is what we need to get to our minds. He wants to study. It could be most of them are worldly knowledge, not spiritual. Spiritual comes out of Ishvara Anugraha. What we say, it comes only when the grace of Lord is there. You want to study only spirituality. But these, although they are in Sattva, they want to study more and more worldly knowledge. They want to gain more and more degrees. Why? So that their status improves, so that they get a better lifestyle, they get more money, they get more power. So this way they are attached towards knowledge, and in this way they are bound. Attachment towards anything for that matter, what we understand over here is that binds this jiva. Now in Rajogun, how this person is peaceful and who is towards knowledge, in Rajogun this particular person is always calculating, how can I make more money? How can I increase my positions? How can I go up the ladder of power? This is what he has in his mind. And Tamogun, how I can dethrone somebody, meaning pull him down. How I can cheat someone and make a quick buck. How I can hurt someone. How I can demean someone. This way. Broad characteristics of the Tamogun. So now, other comparisons. Let's say there is a lamp. There is a lamp. Now to protect the lamp, you have kept a glass to protect it. In Sattva Guna, what happens? It is like that clean glass. Nice, freshly washed, clean glass, chimney which you have placed on it. And you can see clear light all around. Now, because of that stability of that light, we are able to, whatever you read, whatever you see, you are able to grasp it properly. Imagine if the light is flickering, that particular flame is flickering, although you have enough light, but what is happening is you are not able to read continuously, or you are not able to read with clarity, and your also eyes are strained. That is exactly when it is in Rajogun, when it is flickering. But when it is stable, clear, it is Sattva. Now, what happens in Rajogun? Let's say what you put up. Instead of that glass, you have kept a tin. Of course, with an opening on the top, you have kept a tin to protect the flame. Now what happened? You are not getting light all across. There is some light which is going up, and that is insufficient light. And the flame is flickering. And the same metaphor, taking it forward, how the Tamoguna is like, you put a lid on that particular tin. So the light will go off after some time and you have no light at all. So that is how a tamogun person is. He does not know what he is doing. It is completely, he is in a position of astray. He doesn't have a method how to go forward. So this sattva gun person, predominantly sat and tvam means you are that essence of Paramatma. So his nature is more and more towards goodness, peace, stability of mind and knowledge gaining. So a person who is in sattva gun, they compare like to dry wood. Okay, now let's say you have dry wood. You pour ghee on that dry wood, you place some camphor and you light a matchstick. It will immediately catch and it will burn. But in Rajas, imagine that wood is little wet and then you don't have ghee. You have to, with great difficulty, you have to see that it catches fire. And imagine tamogun is that wood is completely dry and there is no camphor, there is no ghee. Then imagine how you can light a wood of this nature. So in this way, these are the three prominent gunas, gun what we have, and we have to be extremely careful about how these can impact us. So now we'll move on to the next one. Verse number 7, Rajas. Rajogun, how does it impact our life? Rajo Rajatmakam Viddhi Trishna Sangha Samudbhavam Tannibadnati Kaunteya Karma Sanghena Dehinam. So here what the Lord says is this particular Rajogun is primarily the nature of passion. Passion means always running after something. And what this something is, it's not that it is about anything divine. Running after worldly aspirations, desires, positions, and this is how this particular actions, they bind the soul to the jiva again and again. So this Rajogun, it is basically completely in this material existence all the time. It wants work and it wants to get attached to whatever comes its way. It looks at somebody, oh, that person has got a car. Now I think I also need to buy a car. These are known as mimetic desires. Most of our desires, they are not generated within us. They are generated when we look at others. He has, I also should have. You watch yourself. This is a very important study which has been done. You want to mime that person. You imitate that person. This is how you get a desire. Somebody you will see, oh, he did so and so in his job, in his profession. I also want to. You take him as an ideal and you fall into the trap. I also must become. Let's say you're a architect. You will look at who are the great names in this particular field or profession, and you will have a name that I need to be one day an architect like that. That kind of a name. If you are a chartered accountant, you will see on the same lines. If you are a doctor, you will search on the same lines. And you follow that passion. I need to become like that person. So this fuel for that lust and that gain of position, money, pride. All this is only for sensual enjoyment. It always keeps giving you desires for mental and physical pleasures. And it keeps prompting you to acquire more and more. This is the nature. You are never satisfied. You ask them, at one point you are a good friend. You ask them, you listen to such people talking, I have this much. You don't need to ask them. They keep telling on their own. They'll give you all their balance sheet. Meaning, I had this much and now I have made this much and now I have an intention to further do this much. And you remind them, you said this much, but now what? That is all old story. Now I have changed my targets. See, they are not contented with even what they decided. So their main aim is status, prestige, and career, family, home, money, possessions. They are always bound in these kind of desires. And they take intense activity. They don't want to sit. If they have nothing to do, they'll still go around and meet people. And they'll discuss with them any new idea to make some quick money. Or they'll keep checking on the markets, or they'll keep checking on the property prices, any good deals happening here, there, This is activity with that passion, with that desire. This fuels them all the time. So, what the Lord is saying is, you are caught in this trap of worldly life. Where do you have time to grow up? Now you know that whatever you have acquired, you might have acquired definitely far more than what one can anticipate. But eventually, for what have you acquired all this? Do you need so much? Yes, you have acquired. Let's say tomorrow, especially in these days, we have seen very young people passing away. Ever since COVID has come, we have seen life is so uncertain. If you have not prepared for your afterlife, have you ever thought, what is this life? What was your previous life? What is your subsequent life? When we have no idea about all this, mad rush, you are just going round the wheel, merry-go-round, roller coaster ride. So he says, these people are trapped very badly. And then he also gives a way out. He says, such people, when they are actively, passionately working towards something, he just says, such people to come out, move towards Sattva Gun. What they have to do is, they have to offer all this action of theirs as an offering to the Lord. Whatever results are there, I am offering it to the Lord. That is, Lord is the one who is doing all this through me. If they have this kind of an attitude and they work, then what happens is, you are doing Kamya Karma. Kamya Karma is result-oriented actions. You want result. You are doing actions for the sake of result. Now, when you surrender the result to the Lord and you say that you are doing everything through me, immediately that action, whatever you are doing, it becomes pious in nature. It becomes a nishkam karma. You have already offered the result. And a direct way of doing a nishkam karma is start working for the benefit of others, where you are not expecting anything from them. When a person, a soul takes these kind of activities, yes, you have to do with passion. You are doing some service for others. You are taking, let's say you are in the health industry and you are working for the health of others without being paid or without being benefited. Now, you have to be active, you have to be proactive, but with an offering that I am doing this for the Lord. Kamya karma and nishkamya karma, this way. Now, let's move to the third one, Tamoguna. I'll post the shloka. Tamastvajnanajam viddhi mohanam sarvadehinam pramadalasya bhadnati. Pramadalasya nidrabihi tannibadhnati bharata. So here, now he explains about what are the characteristics of a person who has got the nature of tamogun. Primarily he says, this tamogun is born out of illusion and ignorance. And these people are lazy, they sleep excessively, and they are negligent in nature. This is the way primarily it describes. Now let's go into more details. So, what is this tamogun? You can say it is the exact opposite of a sattvagun. People who are in this state, they want to sleep beyond extent. An ideal sleep, as we talk, is anywhere between 6 to 8 hours. But if somebody is sleeping 9 hours, 10 hours, 11 hours, and all the time just lazing around, then you can say this is a quality of tamogun. I am not talking when you are unwell. Sometimes we want to have more sleep. Body needs that. So at that point of time, if you don't give your body enough sleep, then you will get unwell. You will get sick. Not those cases. But this is a regular factor. They sleep beyond the normal requirement of a healthy person. And another quality is they are lazy. You tell them anything, they'll say, let's see tomorrow. Why should we do today? I'll do it tomorrow. And then they have inclination towards liquor, smoking, and even towards non-vegetarian food. You're killing animals and eating for your pleasure. That is violence. And such people also involve themselves in gambling, meaning they want quick money. They have a behavior where they want to cheat others and make money. They don't think of doing things in the right manner. How quickly I can make money without much effort. Such are the people where they have lost their understanding towards what is right and what is wrong in life. And for such people, you talk of morality, they say, care a damn. They only know the immoral way to lead in life, to achieve whatever they want. Morality, immorality makes no sense to them. This way, these people are always in this kind of state of darkness. Eventually, with all these qualities, what you can see is they have a very poor health. They have very poor attitude in life. They just want to throw their weight around. They keep shouting all the time, just to prove their presence and prove their importance. And never they would want to read a good book. In a Sattvic, what happens if he takes up a book and he starts reading? He does not want to give it up. He'll say, let me read the next page, the next page, the next page, and you can see him like he goes on reading. In a Rajasic, if you give him a good book, He will read about 10 pages, 12 pages, and then he'll say, enough, I'll read for some other day. But if you give a book to a tamasic person, a good book, you will see him doze off in reading less than half a page. The same will happen even to these three categories in terms of spiritual knowledge. A sattvic person will want to listen again and again, again and again. He is not satisfied. He says, I am learning every time I listen, I am learning something new. That is the nature of a sattvic person. He wants to grow with that. Rajasic, when I have time, I listen. See, there's already a big difference. Right, today I don't have time. He gives importance for something else. He doesn't have time. And he postpones. If not morning, I'll try to listen in the evening or again tomorrow or day after. And in the process, he misses on many things. So a Rajasic has got a very limited appetite. And what will happen with a Tamasic? 2 minutes of listening, again he dozes off. Because he cannot take this load of goodness. The reason his entire mind is in the opposite mode of goodness, which is negativity. So in this way, these three qualities, they broadly talk about the human nature. Now if you see, these are broad classifications. You can understand with whomever you see in which category they fall. And now in the subsequent verses, Lord Krishna says, what is the impact of being a sattvic person? What is the impact of being a rajasic person? And what is the impact of being a tamasic person? So in this way, we are going to learn more about all this, all the three natures, and then slowly we have to adapt to the right method. And it is not, please remember, not to be in these three. Yes, these three are there in us. All these three are required in a certain proportion and at a certain point of time. Please don't forget. During night, if you want to sleep, you have to have that tamasic, that lazy feeling. Otherwise, you won't go to sleep. If you are active and if you are bright, how will you get sleep? That is required. So, these three gunas are prominently there, are there in each and every human being. But in what proportion, that is important. So, we'll get to learn more about this in our future classes. Okay. Now, Shri Krishna Arpanamastu, we'll study the divine names. Today we are studying verse number 26, divine name number 238 and 239. First, let's read the shloka. Suprasada prasannatma Vishvadrig Vishvabhubuhu Satkartra Satkruta Sadur Jannur Narayano Naraha. Vishvadrig. As a mighty source of all existence, in everything and every being, he is the supporter, meaning Drak, of the total world of all perceptions, all emotions and all thoughts. He as the supporter and the supported, being essentially one, no calamity comes to the Lord by the increase in population. Ocean, the supporter of the waves, can never feel bothered by the stormy surface and the consequent increase in the number of waves. 239 Vishva Book. The one who enjoys or swallows. Book means swallows. All experiences. The supreme consciousness, apparently conditioned by the mind and the intellect, is the experiencer of the joys and sorrows. Now the term also means the one who absorbs unto him all names and forms at the time of the dissolution, that is pralaya. In the plane of God consciousness, all other experiences gathered in fields of waking, dream and deep sleep are transcended, and therefore the state of perfection can be figuratively indicated as Vishva Book, the one who swallows all the experiences of plurality. To such a divine Lord, we offer our humble salutations and seek His grace and blessings. Now let's chant the Dhanvantari mantra 3 times. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutakalashahastaya Sarva Bhaya Vinashaya Sarva Roga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokya Nidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutakalashahastaya Sarva Bhaya Vinashaya Sarva Roga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokya Nidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutakalashahastaya Sarva Bhaya Vinashaya Sarva Roga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokya Nidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. To the Lord of Health, we offer our humble salutations and pray and beseech for a healthy life. Om Tat Sat. Now let's do the Sakshatkara Siddhi Yoga Dhyana. Please make yourself comfortable. Any part of your body which is uncomfortable, relax that portion of the body and sit straight, erect, in a relaxed position, head, neck and spine in a straight line. Completely relax your forehead, your face, your neck, your shoulders, and your entire body. Now in this calm and serene state of mind, let's take a few deep breaths. Inhale and exhale as deep as you can. Now the first level of meditation, Antarika Drishyana with Savikalpa Samadhi, is a meditation where you are in a state of Sakshi Bhava, looking at your mind, witnessing your mind, observing the thoughts that cross your mind. Without being judgmental, you just observe the thoughts. They come and they go. You slowly experience the number of thoughts reducing in your mind. And eventually you see a state of no thoughts. We gradually move to the next level of meditation, Antarika Shabdhanuvit Savikalpa Samadhi. Keeping our entire focus on our breath. Using the mantra Shakti of Soham, we completely stay in the present moment. Hum. Keep chanting this mantra in your mind and feel the oneness between you and the consciousness, the Paramatma. Keep your mind focused on your breath without allowing it to go in the past or in the future. Be in the present moment. Now, in this calm and serene state of mind, let's listen to the pearls of wisdom for self-realization. Shri Gurubhyo Namah. All the movable and immovable you see in existence is by the union of Kshetra and Kshetra. Know that the Paramatma accompanies the Atma, which is present in all beings, and understand that Atma and Paramatma are imperishable in this perishable body. Paramatma is equally present in every soul. All actions are performed by Prakriti and not the Atma. All the diverse living beings are a part of one Prakriti and are born by that one Prakriti, which is created by that one Paramatma. Such Paramatma, who does not have any beginning, who does not have any material qualities, this imperishable Paramatma, although he dwells in the body, he neither acts nor he is tainted. Just like space holds everything but does not get contaminated, same way the soul, the Atma, although pervading the entire body, does not get contaminated. Just as the sun illumines the whole universe, same way the Atma illumines the entire body. In this way, the one who perceives with eyes of knowledge this subtle difference between Kshetra, which is Vikari, Jada, momentary and destructible, and who understands Kshetrajna as Nitya, Chetana, Avikari and Avinashi. And also those who understand that all actions are performed by Prakriti will attain that supreme Parabrahman, Paramatma. Hari Om Tat Sat. Now we slowly move to Antarika Nirvikalpa Samadhi, where you have transcended from your mind, your body, and senses. You have merged into that consciousness which is enveloping the entire universe. Completely come out of the shackles of your body, mind, and feel the entire consciousness. It is consciousness and consciousness alone. For every experience, you need consciousness and an object. Here, there is no object. You have dissolved your mind with no thought. Neither you are in the present, in the past, or in the future. You are that consciousness. Become aware of your body, your mind. Become aware of your breath. Become aware of your surroundings and the place you are seated. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Together we offer our today's Gita Jnana Yajna at the lotus feet of the Lord and seek His grace, His mercy, His blessings, His love. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Idam Namama. Om Tat Sat. Please rub your hands, your palm, place them on your eyes. Gently and lovingly open your eyes.
रजसस्तु फलं दुःखम् अज्ञानं तमसः फलम्